Make sure my mic's working. Not too close. Okay. Welcome back. In today's time capsule of words, music, milestones, and memories, we'll take a look at a historical mention, some inventive and prolific creators, and the sweet voice of a trailblazing young singer. As always, we also have a word and a quote, so grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's check it out. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for May 23rd. May 23rd is the 143rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 144th in leap years, with 222 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is prolific. Prolific is an adjective that means producing young or fruit, especially freely, fruitful, causing abundant growth, generation, or reproduction, marked by abundant inventiveness or productivity. A prolific writer is one who's written lots of books. With over 80 movies to his credit, I'd say Keanu Reeves is a prolific actor. The word prolific comes to us from French, Middle French before that, Latin before that. First known use of the word prolific is in 1650. Prolific. And with that, South Carolina ratified the United States Constitution as the 8th state on May 23, 1788. I'll talk a good bit more about South Carolina in another video, and I'll leave a link in the description to that one if you'd like to see more about that. The accordion. Yes, the accordion. Often called a squeeze box, sometimes a windjammer. They create a unique sound, and I've included a link to a video that explains how they work if you're curious about that. That said, it was on May 23, 1829, that Austrian inventor Cyril Demian was granted a patent for the accordion. Now, there is some debate as to just exactly who first thought up such an instrument, but Cyril applied for and was granted the patent. Accordions. Eric Carle was an American author, designer, and illustrator of children's books, and is notable for such books as The Very Hungry Caterpillar, The Grouchy Ladybug, and Brown Bear, What Do You See? He illustrated more than 70 books, most of which he also wrote. His books have been translated into more than 66 languages, and more than 145 million copies of his books have been sold around the world. Eric Carle was born June 25, 1929 in Syracuse, New York, in the United States, but his mother was from Germany and she became homesick. So they moved to Germany, back to her hometown, when he was about 6 years old. His father was drafted into the German army for World War II. When Eric was 15, he himself was conscripted into service digging trenches. Eric Carle, like his mother, became homesick for the land of his birth and finally made it back to the United States in 1952. He got a job as a graphic designer before being drafted into the U.S. Army during the Korean War. He was able to return to his old job as a graphic designer when he got back, and his work caught the eye of educator and author Bill Martin, Jr., who asked Mr. Carle to collaborate on a picture book, thus beginning his career as a children's book writer and illustrator. He and his wife founded the Eric Carle Museum of Picture Book Art, which is devoted to the art of children's books and is located in Amherst, Massachusetts. I'll include a link to their website as well. We mention Eric Carle today because he passed away on May 23, 2021 at the age of 91. Eric Carle. Today's song is My Guy by Mary Wells. Written and produced by Smokey Robinson, this is a sweet little song from the point of view of a woman declaring her love and loyalty to her fella. Ms. Wells was a young woman of 21 when My Guy was recorded and released in 1964. She became Motown's first female star. My Guy became her signature song and biggest hit. My Guy reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 on May 23, 1964, for the first of 2 weeks. My Guy by Mary Wells. Link in the description. How about that? Whether you're creating, exploring, or just soaking up the wonders around you, may today bring you something worth remembering. Thanks for spending a moment in history with me. Remember that there are several links in the description today. And for today's quote, I found one that's playful, uplifting, and a nod to creativity, joy, and wonder, quite fitting with the feeling of today's video. It's a quote from Irish author, poet, and playwright Oscar Wilde. And really, this quote sounded like an inspirational Instagram quote when I read it, but of course, he's from way before anyone ever thought about anything like Instagram. Today's quote is, "With freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy?" Oscar Wilde. I like that. Alrighty, y'all take care. Be good to each other. I'll see you next time. I forgot to turn off the air conditioner. Hold on. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.